and you would like to know how to use some of these scanners, even the ones that we don't normally put on trainings. Over here, it says learn how to use the Jifu scanner, right? Over here, it says learn how to use the Jifu scanner. So you can always click on this video over here and you can see all the documents that explains how to use each and every of this scanner, right? All the documents that explains how to use each and every one of this scanner, right? So make sure that when you eventually join the G4 Academy, make sure that you go over these scanners and you are looking at them, right? Make sure when you eventually join Jifu, you are looking at this scanner. Jifu Live/scanner is the website. Jifu Live/scanner. For the person that was saying, I've been trying, I hope you clicked on Jifu Live/scanner. Actually, that's the new web, right? So please give me a minute while I wait for mine to load. But guys, please, who is currently on the gold trade? Who is currently on the gold trade? It is going absolutely well, and we will look at it from a Qshot point of view, right? We will look at it from a Qshot point of view, not Trendwave. Although the trade was from Trendwave, but we'll look at it from a Qshot point of view. I think Supernova was taken out to be refined again, right? I think Supernova, you can see now that I've refreshed my back office. I think Supernova was taken out to be refined again for some reason. All right, so let's look at XAUUSD on a 5 minutes time frame on a 15 minutes time frame, actually on Qshot. All right, let's look at XAUUSD on a 15 minutes time frame on Qshot. All right. Remember that when you begin to use Qshot, it's going to be sometimes going to be a bit tricky like this for you to, you know, for you to expand and see everything that is being shown over here, right? So you must always use your laptop to be able to expand and see everything that is being shown over here. Now, this is gold on a 15 minutes time frame, right? This is gold on a 15 minutes time frame. Although the signal that I gave on gold, the signal that I called out from trend wave was on a 5 minutes time frame. But regardless of that, even on a 5 minutes time frame over here on Qshot, you will still notice that it is still saying buy on a 5 minutes time frame, right? So there's no need for me to go to a 5 minutes time frame because even here on Qshot on 5 minutes, where you can see my arrow rotating, it is still saying buy, right? And this table you see here is called the trend table, right? This table you see here is called the trend table. The trend table is used to show you what the market is doing on all time frame. Remember, when we look at trend wave, we notice that trend wave shows us we can different time frame, right? We can open trend wave on different time frame. On Qshot has something called the trend table, and that trend table simply shows you what the market is doing on all time frame. On the 1 minute time frame, the market is buying. On the 5 minutes time frame, the market is buying up. On the 15 minutes time frame, the market is buying. On the 30 minutes time frame, the market is buying. On the 4 hour time frame, the market is buying. On the second 15 minutes time frame, the market is buying. The 30 minutes buying, the 1 hour buying, and the daily time frame, the market is buying. In this type of market, would you be looking for a sell or would you be looking for a buy? If you open Qshot in such a market, would you be looking for a sell or would you be looking for a buy? Obviously, you'll be looking for a buy, right? You'll be looking for a buy when you open such a market because on the trend table, the trend of gold is buying. Gold has been buying. Gold has been buying. In such a market, you do not look for sales. You are looking for buys because on this thing called the trend table, right? On this thing called the trend table, right? it is saying buys. So if you open your Qshot and you're wondering what this is all about, it is called the trend table. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think 9. Okay, minus this 15, 15. 15 is in two places. 15 is in two places, so we'll just remove it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 time. There are 8 time frames here on this trend table, right? There are 8 time frames on this trend table. So all you just need to do is, when you open it, check what the trend is saying on all the time frame. Let's give an example, right? Let's say you open the market. Let's say you opened gold now, and inside the 8, you are seeing 5 buys. 4. You are seeing 5 buys. No, you are seeing 4 buys, 4 sells. Would you consider this market to still be a buy? Right? Would you consider this market to still be a buy? Let's say you open this trend table and you are seeing on some of the time frame it is showing buy red, and on this place it is showing buy. On some of them is showing buy. Would you still consider it for a buy? If you are seeing 4 buys, 4 sells, would you still consider it for a buy? No, you will not consider it for a buy. Let's also assume that you open this trend table and you are seeing a lot of red. Would you still consider it for a buy? If you are seeing inside the 8, you are seeing 6 red and 2 buys, would you still consider it for a buy? No, you will not, right? No, you will not. No, you will not consider it for a buy, right? Now you start looking for sales. Forget about this candle selling. It really doesn't mean anything because the market can still reverse and push back up, right? So this is called the trend table. Another thing you will see when you open Qshot is good volume, which indicates New York session or London session as well. Good volume simply means that the movement of the market is sharp. Market is moving very well. This gold is moving very well. That is what we mean by good volume. But when you open this and you are seeing low volume, it simply means that the volume of the market is currently low. Meaning gold will be moving, but it will not be moving as fast as it should be moving. Right? Can everybody see my screen clearly? Can everybody see my screen clearly? Can you see everything I'm showing? Can you see everything that is on my screen? Can everybody see my screen clearly? Amazing. Cool. The person who is saying I should elongate my screen, please check yourself and check your phone. Right? So good volume here simply means that the movement of the market is as fast as possible. This green color here is called good volume, right? This green color here is called good volume. Another thing you want to look out for is called point of control, right? Another thing you want to look out for is called point of control, and that will be this orange straight line. Pay close attention. Point of control or price of control, but just say point of control. Another thing you want to look at is point of control, right? When the market, point of control is regarded as area where the market meets to drag price. Point of control simply means area where the market meets to drag price. When the candlesticks are located, or when you see the candlesticks moving at this area of this orange line area, this point of control, this orange line area, it is regarded in that area that buyers and sellers are struggling. Buyers and sellers are fighting. When you see the market at this orange line area, it is regarded that buyers and sellers are what? Are struggling and they are fighting. They are yet to make a decision. When you see the market in this yellow orange line area, avoid the market. When you see the market residing along this orange line area, do what? Avoid the market. But when the market breaks above the orange line area and begins to go up, we assume that buyers are winning and that market will buy. When you see the market break and continue to go above the orange line, we assume that buyers are winning and the market is buying. Gold is buying. Gold has been buying since it broke out of this orange line. When the market breaks out of the orange line and begins to push up, we assume that the market is buying and buyers are winning. The further away the market is from the orange line, the more the market will buy. You can see what is happening on gold. The further away the market is away from the orange line, above, the market is considered to be buying incredibly well. Somebody is asking me which orange line. Oh my God. Can you guys see the orange line? Let me clarify and know that everybody is seeing the orange line. Can you all see the straight orange line or yellow line? Pardon me with the color variation. Can you guys see this? To me, it's light orange, by the way, but you win. Can you guys see this light orange line? Can you guys see it? And can I please continue? Thank you. When the market is far from the orange line or yellow line, whatever suits you, and is far from it, we assume that the market is taking a strong buy. Right? We assume that the market is taking a strong buy, which is what gold is currently doing. The moment you see that gold is reversing down towards the orange line, we assume that the buyers are losing energy and are losing control. Right? We assume that buyers are losing energy and are losing control. Right? We assume that buyers are losing energy and are losing control. Sunday, to your question, these are the things that on your own, without a training, you go and figure it out. I hope that answers your question. These are the things that on your own, they don't need to teach you everything. You have this skill shot. If you have it, when you are on your own, less busy, you go to your tab and you figure this thing out, how to zoom it out very well. Right? Thank you. So once the market is retracing down towards the orange line, we will explain, we say that the market, the buyers are losing control. Vice versa. When the market goes below the orange line, we say that sellers are in control. The further away the market is away from the orange or yellow line, we say that the market is taking a strong sell. This is called point of control. Did we all get it? Did we all get it? It is simple explanation. When you see the market residing where the orange line is, buyers are and sellers are fighting and they are struggling. When you see the market break and continue to go above the orange or yellow line, we say that buyers are in control. The further away the market is away from the orange line, buyers are stronger. The further away the market is away down below the orange line, we say that sellers are in control. If the market sells down far away from the orange line, we say that sellers are strong and they are in full control, right? Just in case this is confusing, by the way, this training is recorded. So afterward, you can take your time and spend hours rewatching and rehearing everything I'm saying. The next thing we will look at is our line. The next thing we will look at is our line. Dotman, if you're only seeing trend wave on your scanner, it simply means you are on the basic package. It's only people that are on the main package that have access to all the scanners, right? So if you're only seeing trend wave, it simply means you're on the basic package. So Just try as much as possible to upgrade to the main package to have access to everything. Guys, stop distracting with your questions. I will answer once I'm done. You distracting doesn't help you in any way. Another thing we want to look at is our line, otherwise known as our EMA line. All right? Otherwise known as our EMA lines. That's another thing we want to look at, right? Another thing we want to look at is our lines, otherwise known as EMA lines. And on trend wave, there are two main important lines. We have the red line and we have the blue line. We have the red line and we have the blue line. Let me make it as simple as possible. Let me not tell you what the lines really entails. We have the red line and we have the what? We have the blue line. And then we have the orange light line or the yellow line here, as you may consider it to be. Although the yellow line or the orange line, this frazzled line here, is not really that important. This big orange yellow looking line down here, if you can see where my white hand glove is pointing, this line here is not really as important as proposed. It's actually important, right? But I will explain the 238 line, all right? This is called the 238 line, which is the yellow line or the orange line, whatever color it appears to you in your eye, right? Yellow line, right? So the 238 line is of importance, but it's not really of that importance. But the main important lines here is the blue and the red line. Now, what role does the blue and the red line play? When the red line from under crosses from under, meaning the red line is already existing below, and the red line from under crosses above the blue line, we say that the market is going to buy, or the market will eventually buy. I will explain. Let me elongate my screen back again. Please hang on. So when you're looking at trend wave, phone does not do justice to it. So always make sure you use a laptop for you to see better clarity of this of trend, or sorry, of Qshot, not trend wave. When you're looking at trend waves, phone doesn't do justice to it. So I expand with my laptop Qshot. My Qshot, you know what Qshot is? My mouse. Phone doesn't do justice to it, right? So click and hold and then drag. Not down, but you drag it up, then you expand. These are the things you should sit down on your own at home and figure out, right? Now, when the red line from up under, you can see where the red line is. Who is seeing where this red line is? Where I am pointing from, where my arrow, where my white hand glove is pointing from. Who is seeing it? Can you see it? Hope you can see where my white hand glove is pointing from. Good. When the red line from under, it has to be from under. Why the blue line is above it? I am saying under. When the red line from under, from below, from the bottom, from under, crosses above the blue line, we assume that the market is about to start buying. Not even assume. Market will begin to buy. When the red line from under crosses from, the red line has to be from under. It crosses from under, crosses the blue line from under. Market is expected to begin to buy. And you can see it happened here. It even happened here that a blue triangle indicating buy appeared. It even happened over here that a blue triangle immediately appeared indicating for a buy. The red line has to, from under, cross above the blue line, market will buy. The further away the market, is on the red line. Sorry, the further away the market goes away from the red line, the more it will buy. For example, when the market started to buy here, you can see how it continued to buy. It gave space over here away from the red line. So the further away the market is from the red line, the more it will buy. After it has already crossed, it has to cross first, right? It has to definitely cross first. You can see that this market has been buying, right? Also, the further away the market is away, I'm repeating that as well. Two things. The further away the market is away from the red line, it will push up more for buys. The further away the red line is away from the blue line, the more buys the trade we do. After the red line has already crossed, the more the gap that it gives the blue line after it has crossed, once it begins to give the blue line gap, for example, you can see that the gap here is smaller than the gap here is massive. You can see the space here, the gap between the red line and the blue line here is massive. Look at how massively gold bought. Look at how massively gold bought. But in this case, the gap here is not gapping. The market decided to sell down a bit. After the red line has crossed from under, the further away the red line is from the blue line, more will the market buy. You can see all the gapping. You can see when the red line tried to come back to the blue line, to touch the blue line after this massive gap here, markets retraced a bit. But another gap appeared, big gap here, market pushed up, right? So you can see all the gapping, and since that gapping, gold has been buying, right? Since that gapping, gold has been buying. The further, after the blue line, after the red line from under has crossed above, it has to be from, because some people will go and make mistake now. Once they see that red line has crossed blue line, they will not check if it's from on. That's why I am emphasizing and emphasizing and emphasizing. It has to be from under. Also, you must be very careful. It's not that immediately it just crosses. You just jump in immediately. You must wait. Let there be other things as well, right? Let's give it daylight. Let there be daylight. Let there be just small space before you begin your buying. Not as it is crossing like here, where it is crossing currently here. You just jump in immediately. It can deceive you, right? It can deceive you, so you must be very careful. When it comes to sell, the red line from above will cross the blue line. Some of you are already calling me professor. Tomorrow now, somebody will say, I use the Qshot, I blow my account, because you did not look at the information clearly. That's why I'm emphasizing, because a lot of you can blame and blame and blame and look for fault on why something did not go well. But you never ask yourself, what did I do wrong? Or what did I not learn well? Okay. When the red line from above, it has to be from above, crosses the blue line, the market is expected to sell. Look, it clearly happened over here. The red line was above. It crossed from the blue line. Immediately it crossed. Look at the drop. Zim, right? It just dropped. The market immediately dropped. For sell, the red line from above has to cross the blue line. Once it crosses it, expect a what? A sell, right? Expect a sell. And then you can see how it was selling. It gave gap. Look at the gap. There was a gap here. He sold, right? All of a sudden, right? The blue line now started attaching to the red line. In this case, what would you do? Once you are selling, all of a sudden, you now notice that the blue line don't touch the red line. All of a sudden, you now notice that the blue line is now touching the red line. What would you do? It's now coming closer, like your sell is diminishing. You close your trade. And you run away. Imagine somebody that was on this trade selling very well. When gold was selling, gold sold to 32.24, they were selling. maybe the retracement, they'll be like, let me not close it. Gold will still come back. Look at gold never came back again. Look at where gold is currently. Look at it. When the red line was getting close, when the blue line was getting close to the red line after crossing, when the red line was getting close to the blue line after crossing, somebody did not close at this area. Somebody must have said, a trader around the earth must have said, hey, let me just leave it. If you still retrace back, gold never retraced back since the 25th of March. Gold has not retraced back. So once you're using Killshot and you see such occurrences happening, please close your trade and run away. This is simply how to trade Killshot. When the red line from under crosses the blue line, you buy. When the red line from above crosses the red line from above, you sell. Another thing you will look at is the histogram. Another thing you will look at is called histogram. Don't forget that this histogram is also very much evident in trend wave. Who remembered histogram on trend wave? Who remembered histogram on trend wave? Those of you that used to join my classes, good. Good. Histogram is also available here on Qshot. This is the blue histogram, and this is the red histogram. Once you see red histogram, it signifies market is selling. You are selling. All of a sudden, the red is turning to blue. Run. Although this blue and red histogram doesn't really give it high significance when it comes to Qshot. So, but it still makes up, right? It still makes up, right? Look at the space. The red line from above, crossed the blue line from above. Immediately it crossed it. This red triangle appeared, signifying sell that market immediately. Sell now. Immediately the red line from above crossed the blue line. You can see it here with evidence, right? The market sold immediately. Look at this gold. Gold sold from 33,000, sold all the way to 22,000. Do you know how many pips this is? Swing traders must have made millions of naira from just this sell. Immediately it crossed. Look at it. And can you see that in the spacing over here, the more the red line spaced the blue line, the more intense, the intensification or the intensifying of the sell was much. The more the red and blue line gave each other space in terms of cells, you can see the intensification of the cell here, which is what is currently happening here. The red line is giving, it is recorded, Big Daddy. The red line is giving the blue line space. That is why we are having massive intensification or massive buy currently happening. But let's say all of a sudden, as we are buying gold since morning, the red line the red line from above crosses the blue line. Even me, I will run, right? Even me, I will run. But from looking at it, I don't think that is happening anytime soon, right? I don't think that is happening anytime soon. Another thing you want to take note of, finally, we want to take note of on Qshot are our stars. We have the red star and the blue star. These are called high volume stars. We have the red star and the blue stars. These are called high volume stars. Although these stars can be a bit deceitful, so you must be very careful. Although these stars must be a bit deceitful, but you must be very careful. But I will post about it. I'll post the recording of this class on our group chat. All right, guys, please don't forget to make video of me while on this training. Please, I beg, and please tag me on Instagram at obioflagos_. So let me quickly drop my Instagram handle over here. And please don't forget to do that. My Instagram is obioflagos_. So please, as you are here on this call, you can also make video of me and help me tag me on Instagram. I will be sure to follow you back, right? Thank you so much for those of you that will do this, and God bless you. All right, so this is it basically. So we have the red star and the blue star. These are called high volume stars. Although these stars can be very deceitful, as I said. The red star is to, once the red star appear, it indicates that that market is going to drop. But you can see over here that this red star, it appeared. Market did drop. Market did drop when this red star appeared. Market did drop when this red star appeared. But you can see that that drop was not a significant drop, was not a important drop. Like it just dropped. You know, when I was speaking earlier, you saw it dropping, and I was like, who remember what I said? Who remembered what I said? I was like, that this drop will not really make sense. The market is still going to buy, right? If you remember what I said when I said it, right? You can see it now. Imagine when this market was dropping, a novice trader would have, oh, gold is now dropping. Let me enter for a sell. You know, and this star also indicated you can enter for a sell immediately. So sometimes this star can be a bit deceitful, but the red star here it's used to show that market is going to drop. But then sometimes the importance of this star is not really what. I mean, if I'm using Qshot, I don't really consider this star. What I consider is my trend table. What I consider is my trend table, my good volume, my volume table, my point of control, or price of control, point of control, and then the red and the yellow, the red and the blue star. These are the things that I consider, right? These are the things I consider. I also consider the 38 EMA line. Let me explain lastly. I also consider the 238 EMA line. How do I consider it? The further away the EMA line from below, the further away EMA line from below, once this yellow line, this yellow EMA line is below the candlesticks, that is an indicator for a buy. Once this yellow line or this orange or this light orange line is below the candlesticks, this line is called the 238 line. Once this line is below the candlesticks, consider that market for a buy. The further the yellow line is away from the market below, you can see the gapping. The gapping here is extraordinary. That's why gold has been buying uselessly. Can you see this gapping? Look at. Can you see this gapping? The gapping is something else, right? The gapping is something else. The further away this yellow line is away from the market, the more buy strength, the more buyers we buy the market. That's why gold has been buying uselessly since. But when this line begins to get closer to the market, begins to push back, begins to push to the market, begins to push towards from under for buy, from under, begin to close your buy. Vice versa. When this line is dangling within the market, just as you're seeing here, avoid the market. When this line is dangling within the market, avoid the market. But when this line is above the market, when this line is above the market, start looking for sales. When this line is above the market, when the candlesticks are below this line, start looking for sales. Once you see the candlestick start coming back towards the line from above, when the line is above, and the candlestick begin to come back towards the line, run away. When you see the candlesticks go below the line, start looking for sell. Something that is selling. All of a sudden, it starts coming back towards that particular line that he left before. Run away. The further the candlesticks are below the line, are below this orange line, this 238 line, this yellow line, the further the candlesticks are below this line, sell with your full chest. When you see the candlesticks sell and sell and sell, and all of a sudden start returning back, run away with your full chest. This is all on Qshot. The essence of Qshot is not to give you TP and SL. The essence of Qshot is to help you as a trader know how to analyze the Forex market, know how to give yourself TP and SLs, know how to determine entry, stop loss, and take profit by yourself. I told you, I keep telling people, Jifu is not just anyhow academy. Yes, on Trend Wave, they will give you the TPs and SL. On Killshot, the story is the same. On Killshot, they want you to learn how to analyze yourself. They want you to learn how to use this thing yourself. What you study here, you can eventually use it to analyze the Forex market on TradingView. Somebody like me, I don't need to use Killshot to know what is happening on TradingView. Why? Because I already know how to analyze very well. But you as a beginner, you as a trader, you as a newbie, you want to know how to analyze the Forex market by yourself. You want to get better with analysis of the Forex market. That is where Qshot falls in. But the problem with a lot of you, if not most of you, is that you don't study. You don't learn. You just pay. You are waiting for signals every single day in the group. You cannot succeed in trading if this is your mindset and if this is the way you operate. Jifu already has it all. It's left for you to utilize it all. Right? Does anybody have eminent, look at the word though, eminent questions concerning all I have just explained this evening? Eminent question. If you don't know the meaning of eminent, let's quickly check the meaning. Guys, does anybody have eminent questions? Eminent. It must be of eminence.